The Puck Portfolio with Andy MacNeil.
Hey, welcome to the Puck Portfolio. I'm your host, Andy MacNeil. I'm here weekdays to provide NHL projections, betting advice, and strategies to help you make informed bets throughout the NHL season. This show is sponsored by NorthStar Bet, which is now available Canada-wide. I'll be using NorthStar Bet's odds on this show. They offer early odds on the next day's NHL games and a whole lot more, so check them out via the link in the description below. If you enjoy the show, I know you do, please like this video and subscribe to the Canada Sports Betting YouTube channel. The numbers keep growing. Thank you all for your support. I appreciate it. This show has been a lot of fun for me to do, and I hope it's been a lot of fun for you guys to take in and consume every day. I hopefully will be bringing this show live in the very near future, but I'll let you guys know when that's going to happen and if there will be any changes to the time and whatnot. But anyway, on today's show, I'll be running through Thursday's NHL games. We talked about them on Wednesday's show. We got two very, very good bets down. We'll talk about those in a little bit. I've got another bet here that's a little bit of a funny situation, but we'll talk about that. I'll also be looking ahead to Friday's NHL odds and finding some betting value there. Big weekend here coming up. There are 34 games of NHL hockey to be played between Thursday and Sunday, so I hope you've canceled all your plans or you haven't made any. It's going to be a great 4 days of NHL hockey. So here's an NHL schedule breakdown for the next 2 days. If you've been here before, you know what you're looking at. The rest column tells you how many days rest teams have across the league. The load column gives you a little bit more context. As you can see, the Lightning, they're playing their third game in 4 nights against the Chicago Blackhawks on Thursday, 2-2 back-to-back. You can obviously see that those teams have 0 days rest. So take a screenshot if you would like, and you can look at that a little bit more. I factor this into my handicapping, so without further ado, let's get into the projections, shall we? These are the projections for Thursday, some updates here. Let's get into it. New York Islanders at Boston Bruins. There's been a huge overnight odds movement and continued into the morning here, and I really don't get it, to be honest. They opened up with Boston as a big favorite, which the projection model thinks they should be a big favorite, now at minus 169. Look, Bo Horvat, one of the Islanders' best forwards, he's traveling with the Islanders to Boston. That might have something to do, or it might have had something to do with the movement overnight. But I had somebody close to the Isles reach out to me, a reporter, in fact, reach out to me and tell me that he thinks the only reason that Horvat is traveling with the team is because it's the Islanders' mom's trip. And he said that he can't see him playing tonight. So I've got Horvat not playing in this game. I'm going to trust that, and hopefully it works out for me. Also, Morgan Geekie out for the Boston Bruins. Of course, Charlie McAvoy still out serving that suspension that he appealed. The NHL upheld it. Anyway, I risked 1.4 units on the Bruins to win 1 unit at minus 141. Those are the current odds available at NorthStar Bet. But look, there are some great prices out there. Minus 130 now on the Boston Bruins. It's hard for me to tell you to bet minus 141, right? You've got to shop around, get the best odds. I promise you, if you go a whole season betting games at minus 141 when you could be betting them at minus 130, you're going to lose money. Like my bet on the Boston Bruins, minus 141. Right now, it's kind of an objectively bad bet. I mean, the odds have continued to move against me. I could have got a better price. And how I view my bets, how I grade my bets is, whether I got the best of it or not, whether I got the best odds or not. And it looks like here I might not get a great number relative to what I could have got. So definitely keep that in mind if you're going to bet the Boston Bruins. I don't get the love for the Islanders here. It's borderline insane to me how much this line has moved, and I won't say that very often, especially if Bo Horvat is out. But I'm just going with a 1.41 unit play on the Bruins at minus 141. I'll track it at that. That's what I bet it at. That's what's available at NorthStar Bet, but definitely shop around, find the best odds, give yourself the best chance to profit. The Dallas Stars at the Columbus Blue Jackets. Patrick Laine, he still has not resumed skating yet, at least to my knowledge. Not a good sign for the Blue Jackets forward. Matt Duchene is still listed day-to-day for the Stars. No interest here. As mentioned on Wednesday's show, I expected James Reimer to get the start in goal for the Red Wings on Thursday, and that is the case. Reimer is expected to start. Actually, I believe he's confirmed now to start versus the Montreal Canadiens. So I was right in projecting him to start. I've got the Red Wings minus 149 according to the projection model. They're minus 175 on the money line right now. So definitely closer to betting on Montreal. But now that Reimer's been confirmed, and he's been good this season. I don't necessarily want to fade Reimer, that's for sure. Just for the sake of it, and I will consider betting Montreal, I guess, if the odds get out of hand, but I don't think they're going to. Another goalie situation that's definitely one to watch. Igor Shesterkin, he's listed day to day, and now so is backup Jonathan Quick. The Rangers call up Louis Domingue from the minors, and while there's a chance that Igor could be ready to start, the same Rangers reporter, Islanders reporter that I talked to said that they think there's better than a 50% chance that Domingue is in goal on Thursday. So I'm expecting Domingue to get the start. The Rangers now, according to the projection model, 54.7% chance of winning, minus 121 projected odds against the Wild. So like I said yesterday, it was Wild or nothing, but that at this point doesn't really mean anything because the odds have moved so much. So if you bet the Wild, who were around plus 145 yesterday, then you've made a great bet. If not, I wouldn't chase it. The odds have moved. It's been accounted for in the market here. And the New York Rangers are now sitting at minus 127. The Isles all the way, or the Wild, sorry, all the way down at plus 105. So from plus 145 to plus 105, that just goes to show you what kind of move will happen when Igor Shesterkin is not going to play and you're going to go to Louis Domingue. That's a big drop off for sure. The Chicago Blackhawks at the Tampa Bay Lightning. Chicago down at plus 190 now. I didn't end up betting on the Blackhawks. Maybe I should have, but one major thing of note here, not anything to do with this game, but it does sound like Lightning goaltender Andrei Vasilevsky might be back by American Thanksgiving later this month. So definitely keep an eye on that going forward. The Arizona Coyotes and the St. Louis Blues. Look, the Coyotes did not stick around very long. They were plus 123 when I did the show on Wednesday. So if you watched early, you had a chance. If not, you missed it. The good bets, they're never going to stick around for very long if I'm doing a good job. And so far I am. So the other bet on the Vancouver Canucks, I bet the Canucks at minus 110 yesterday, and that line stuck around all day into the evening. I was surprised. But there's been a big move toward the Canucks, and rightfully so. Vancouver is now minus 127 at NorthStar and as high as minus 135, minus 140 elsewhere. So I hope you watched the show, and I hope you were able to get a good number on the Canucks. But if you're keeping track, that's two bets, 23 cents of line value on one, 17 cents of line value on the other. That's pretty good. I can't promise you winners, but I can tell you where the odds should be most of the time and be right most of the time. The Nashville Predators at the Winnipeg Jets. Look, as I mentioned on Wednesday, the Predators, they were only going to be a good bet if Laurent Brossoit, the backup goalie, was in place of Connor Hellebuck, the regular starting goaltender for the Jets, and it looks like that will be the case, although it has not been confirmed. The market has moved a lot here. The Winnipeg Jets minus 137 on the money line. The Nashville Predators plus 114. A lot of movement there. Not a good bet anymore. You got to get in before the goaltending announcements. So that's why I give you guys a little bit of a heads up. Reimer yesterday. Here, Laurent Brossoit is another. You can't wait for these announcements because the odds move when they get announced or when they when there's even a bit of speculation that there might be a backup goaltender starting in place of a goaltender like Connor Hellebuck, who hasn't been all that good this season. All right, so that's three bets for Thursday. I've got the Bruins, I've got the Canucks and the Coyotes. The Bruins obviously still available. Shop around, get the best price. But yeah, let's get into Friday's games. We've got 6 games on Friday. Here are the projections on the screen. First up, the Minnesota Wild. They're on the second half of a back-to-back in Buffalo on Friday. Of course, they play the Rangers on Thursday. The projection model has the Sabres as a minus 114 favorite, 53.2% chance of winning. There are some injuries to worry about with the Sabres. Not sure if Dylan Cousins will be back in the lineup, Matthias Samuelsson, etc. But it doesn't look like I'm going to be betting on either side here right now, but I do have some interest in the Washington Capitals at the New Jersey Devils. I'm just going to check here to see what is still available because look, this one moved. I was able to bet the Capitals at plus 175 early this morning, and I was hoping that number would stick around, but early signs are that it's not going to stick around for very long. Look, you can still bet plus 165 though. So I bet one unit at plus 175. You can bet 0.75 units at plus 165. So that's what I'll track it as, a 0.75 unit bet at plus 165. The Capitals to beat the New Jersey Devils. I think the Devils should be a minus 149 favorite. At least that's what the projection model tells me. They're without Jack Hughes. They're without Nico Hischier. they haven't been playing all that great. And the Capitals, I mean, they looked like one of the worst teams in the NHL for a minute, but it was mostly due to poor shooting luck. I knew their goaltending was fine. Kemper and Lindgren, they're pretty good, but their offense, it was a big question mark. And they're starting to put it together now, and they're starting to put some respectable numbers up there. And the Devils, like I said, missing their two biggest stars, Jack Hughes and Nico Hischier. So give me the Capitals, 0.75 units, plus 165 to beat the New Jersey Devils. And a big one, the Calgary Flames at the Toronto Maple Leafs. Remember when the Maple Leafs were actually good? Not anymore. They're actually bad. 46% expected goals at 5-on-5, 45% goals percentage. I mean, that's really bad. They don't even look like a playoff team, much less a cup contender, which I thought they would be. I guess I'm the idiot. You'd be crazy to lay chalk with this team right now. I said that on Wednesday. Do you really want to lay minus 165, minus 175 with this Leafs team? And yeah, they lose 6-3 to the Senators. Just an awful, awful performance, and sort of predictable. I mean, all of Leafs Twitter after their big win over the Lightning was saying, "Hey, the Leafs are back." And I mean, no, they're not back. They are definitely not back at all. So you'd be crazy to lay chalk with this team against a hungry Flames team, who I'm not a big fan of, but they've been getting good goaltending from Jacob Markstrom. The projection model has Toronto as a minus 136 favorite, and my gut tells me that's probably too high, but I'm going to trust the model here. One more bet for Friday, the Ducks. They're another actually bad team. I think this is a 50-50 matchup between the Ducks and the Flyers if Carter Hart is back in goal for Philadelphia, which I'm willing to take a gamble on him being back in the net here. So I risked 1 unit on the Flyers at plus 112, currently available at NorthStar Bet. 1 unit to win 1.12 units. Hopefully, they'll have a little bit of extra pep in their step after an embarrassing loss to the San Jose Sharks earlier this week. Speaking of the Sharks, they're in Vegas on the second half of a back-to-back. Of course, they're taking on the Edmonton Oilers tonight in San Jose, but they're in Vegas on Friday, the second half of a back-to-back. The projection model gives Vegas an 82.5% chance of winning, minus 470 on the money line, seeing minus 435 at NorthStar Bet. I don't know, guys. Right? It's really hard to price this San Jose Sharks team. They are so bad. And it's really hard to correctly price this team. I'm never gonna feel a whole lot of confidence when I'm making odds for this San Jose Sharks team because they are kind of it's kind of inconceivable how bad they are. So Vegas minus 470. I'm not laying the minus 435 here, although I could risk about 1.2% of my bankroll on that, according to my projections. But I'm gonna pass on this one. I mean, there are some low hanging fruit, and this one is probably the lowest of any low hanging fruit. So I'm not going to bet the Vegas Golden Knights to beat the Sharks at minus 435. But yeah, that's it for me. I'm on the Flyers plus 112 for 1 unit. I'm on the Capitals plus 165 for 0.75 units. Of course, I'm on the Canucks and the Coyotes, but those odds have moved so much that they are no longer good bets. Another reason why you should be tuning in to the Puck Portfolio every day. My last bet for Thursday, though, the Boston Bruins minus 141. But as I mentioned, shop around, find the best odds, give yourself the best chance to win by doing so. I hope you all enjoyed the show today. I'm going to be back tomorrow on Friday for a big weekend preview of all the NHL action that we've got coming up. There's a lot, as I said, so please like the video, subscribe to the Canada Sports Betting YouTube channel, and I'll see you tomorrow for another big show.